All right, before we have Paul up here to give us a little engineering overview, we'll make sure we give another, actually let's do 2 iPods this time. If we can bring up the fishbowl. Oh, the fishbowl's here. How about that? All right, I've got number 270316. All right. Congratulations. And the next one, we've got 270331. All right. Congratulations. Paul?
Thanks, Adam. All right. Well, let me throw out a couple numbers for you as we start. And as I look around the room, I think I know almost everybody, at least more than half, which is kind of cool to think about, that you've already been engaging Phil and I on some of your opportunities, and we've been able to get out and meet with some of your customers and propose some of these deals that are going to help you. Did you know XO Utah sold the first 10 gig wave product for all of XO? Someone in Utah bought a 10 gig product before anyone else throughout the country. Okay? XO Utah has more IP transit leaving the Salt Lake Valley than any other carrier that's in Salt Lake. Sprint, AT&T, Quest, Verizon. XO Utah has more IP transit leaving Salt Lake than anyone else. That's pretty cool to think about. And it's something that's very untapped here in the Salt Lake Valley. We don't have enough people out selling XO and pushing the product enough to really take advantage of what we have to offer. So let's go into this a little bit. As you look up at our screen here, this is a very high level overview. Doesn't do it justice at all. But this is a real simple network map that shows kind of how XO covers the Salt Lake Valley. Salt Lake, Ogden, Provo. We go all the way up to Brigham City, all the way down to Springville, Payson area. Okay? We also have coverage into Park City and out into Tooele. As far as fiber, not so much in those 2 areas, but we can provide service there. One of the things that I want to point out here is we have over 300 on-net buildings, meaning we have Quest copper or fiber into those buildings. 300. And that grows by 2 to 3 every month. That's how many fiber builds we do as a company every month, is at least 2 to 3. Last month we did 6. In July we did 9. In February of this year we did 14. That's huge. Fiber builds that XO's doing. We're actively going out and putting fiber into people's buildings and lighting with electronics. That's huge. Are all of them direct accounts? No, not at all. I would say even half, more than half, come from you guys. People like you, agents of XO. Okay? The opportunities are there. We just need to take advantage of them. It gives you a little bit more about XO's network. We have 2 diverse POPs here within the Salt Lake Valley. The first one is on 118 South and about 10th West. And the second one is out by the airport, out by the International Center, out on 37th West and 8th South. These 2 POPs allow us to provide diversity within our network. Both of these POPs are multi-homed to multi-locations. Denver, LA, Sacramento, Seattle. Allows us to get traffic in and out of the valley. In the event of a disaster to one of those POPs, we can still route traffic. Just a little bit about how we've designed this, and I'm going to walk over here so I can point a couple things out. Actually, this one will probably be better. I think everyone can see me there. So this is our 2 POPs here. We've got POP 1 and POP 2. And what I want you to see is they're built identical. So it doesn't matter which POP we take your traffic to. It's identical, the equipment that we've got in those POPs, okay? And then the routes out of those POPs. Now, the one thing I want to point out is we do have, built between these POPs, we've got a local connection between them. So when your traffic, if your traffic goes to, let's say you've got 3 sites within Utah, okay? And you need to route your traffic doesn't have to leave Utah to come back to Utah. Your traffic stays local, it stays within the market and never leaves. Cutting down on latency, cutting down on hops within the valley for your customers. A real high-level overview of what XO has within the country. And I'm going to drill down specifically into Salt Lake. As you can see, we have 4 OC48s leaving the Salt Lake Valley, going to Denver and going to LA. We've added 2 OC192 links going to Denver and going to LA. And earlier this year, we turned up a 3rd OC192 link leaving Salt Lake and going to Sacramento over the Donner Pass. So we've got a lot of diversity leaving the Salt Lake Valley. We've also got a couple OC-12s that go from here up to Seattle to provide some redundancy for the Northwest. Just one more picture for you. I know I don't want to kill you with slides. You've seen a lot, and I'm sure you'll see a couple more. Just to show you a little more redundancy that we've added. We've added another link from Minneapolis to Denver. We've turned up that link from Salt Lake to Sacramento. We've got a link going from Kansas City down to Dallas that we've added. We're turning up a link from Albany over to New York. We've also got the link from Boston over to Albany that's new. We've turned up a link from Tampa to Orlando. That used to not be there. You used to have to go all the way down to Miami and then over to Orlando. So we're constantly looking at our network and reevaluating how can we make this stronger? How can we reach more people with this? And then with each of these locations that we're turning up, Rich talked earlier about some of the sites we've turned up, Charlotte, Albany. There's always opportunities that EXO's looking at to increase our footprint, to increase the markets that we're in. And that comes from opportunities that you guys bring to us. Whenever we can see something that makes sense for EXO to grow a market, we're going to do what we can to get there and to make it happen. Any questions about EXO's network, about what we have to offer? We'll stay kind of high level today. I would love to come into your offices and spend some time with you and your sales teams and teach you a little bit more about what EXO has to offer and how we can team up to help you sell more EXO. But any questions about EXO's network, the strengths that we have here in Salt Lake?
What about Ethernet to the businesses? Are you doing any Ethernet over copper?
Absolutely. We do Ethernet like crazy. That's probably our hottest product. We can go anywhere from 3 meg Ethernet all the way up to 20 meg Ethernet over copper. If you want to go EXO fiber, we can go up to 10 gig Ethernet. Well, it's always Ethernet, right?
Do we have maps of where you guys can do that at?
Telarus has maps that they can share with you. Where'd Adam head off to? They have maps that you can use off their website that show where EXO's fiber is. We've teamed up with them to provide those maps to them, and they keep that pretty up to date.
I would throw out that we're co-located in 17 or 18 of Quest's central offices along the Wasatch Front, and if you're within about 7 blocks, your business is within about 7 or 8 blocks of that central office, we can provide copper. Ethernet over copper, and it's really good deal right now. I mean, we're seeing 10 megs.
I say is it 10 megs, 700-800?
Yeah, $800 right now, and so it's a good opportunity, and we're happy to look at those.
And now Phil mentioned the limitation of the Ethernet over copper. If we go Ethernet over DS1s or Ethernet over T1s, that limitation's gone. We can take that as far out as you want to go. So you can reach Payson, you can reach places where EXO doesn't necessarily have copper into the CO. We can still do an Ethernet over DS1 solution and provide them 10 meg for that. A little more expensive, but it's still an option for you. Christina, you were going to raise your hand.
Hi, just how do you go about qualifying those?
Work with Phil. He can qualify those for you. Just really all we need is an address. Email Phil an address or call him with an address and he can look it up and tell you if it works or not. Okay. Any other questions? Feel free to reach out to Phil to engage me. I'm more than happy to go out on appointments with you. I've been out on appointments with quite a few of you already. Love to go out, meet with customers, talk with them about solutions. Always looking for the best solution for the customer. Not necessarily what's best for EXO, but what's best for the customer. I mean, that's our whole goal at EXO, is to provide the best quality possible service to the customer. Sometimes it's EXO, sometimes it's not. But I want to be there to help you. And I want to be there to answer questions for the customer that you may not quite understand, maybe some of the intricacies of EXO. But I'd love to help you out with that. Thanks.